So your frequency is what you frequently see. So if you're not seeing what you want to see right now in life, the lens in which you see the world, the lens in which you see yourself, the reality you have, we have to change the frequency. Now, I want you to think about this, guys. The only difference between water and steam is its frequency / ROV. I made that up, guys. I don't even think that's a thing, ROV, but it's rate of vibration. I'm just claiming ownership on ROV as we get into this. But you got to think about it, guys. There's no difference other than its frequency. The particles, the molecules, they're vibrating faster. They're moving with speed. They're not acting the same. So the same particles in the water, they're not changing into a different compound. They're simply staying water, H2O, but they're moving at different speed. They're vibrating differently, guys. So guys, that already means straight away that what you already desire already exists. It's just on a different frequency. You are who you need to be. You just need to be on a different frequency. So we've got to tune you into that frequency. And you got to remember, guys, that like nobody is going to come and save you here. You know, everybody's waiting to be saved. Everybody's waiting for things to come their way. Everybody's waiting for this right time. Everybody's waiting, and moving the same. And nothing is going to change, guys. You can change it this minute if you can control your frequency. So you need to take 100% accountability for changing that, and you're going to see your life change so fast. It's absolutely crazy. So we need to tune into the right frequency, and we need to then stay on that frequency. So for example, any of you guys from the UK, for example, you might know like Capital FM radio channel. Well, that's already playing right now. But if you can't hear it right now, it's because you're not tuned into it. All you have to do is tune in to the frequency. So this video, I'm going to keep it as concise as possible. I don't want this to be one of my 1-hour lectures. We're going to fly through it. I will divert you to other videos to help you on certain things as we come to them. Let's get into it, guys. So what controls our vibration, our frequency? What controls that? 4 major things really, but it all ties back to one, and that is thoughts. Thoughts, emotions, environment, physical health. Now, what do all of those do? They dictate the images in which we see in our mind. So every time you see something, every time you listen to something, every time you're having a conversation with yourself inside your head, telling yourself stories about whatever, that's putting an image in your mind. It's playing a movie. Now, the thing is, guys, your mind doesn't know whether that movie is true or false. How many times have you told yourself you think there's a ghost when there's not a ghost? How many times have you told yourself that your chick's cheating on you when she's not? Right? It changes your frequency, but your mind doesn't know whether the story you're telling yourself is true or false. So at least make sure you're telling yourself a fucking good one, boys. Right? You can the same law that destroys 99.9% of men and holds them back from their goals is the same law that the 0.1% use to absolutely dominate in life by taking control of their frequency and their reality. So we need to control what images are going on inside our mind. And the quality of these will play the entirety of the role really on our frequency. Right? So let's just have a look at this, guys. Like I said, I want to keep this mega simple. On the left, I've put a chart of vibration. Okay? Now, we can see the ones at the very bottom, the lowest vibration thoughts, feelings, states, etc. are shame, guilt, apathy, grief, fear, desire, anger, pride. Now, here's the thing, guys. We then need to now know, like, okay, let's reverse engineer that. What puts us in a state of shame or guilt or apathy, etc.? And then we have to remove those things from our life. Success by subtraction. So don't just say, oh, I need to feel peace. Go, what would put me into a state of peace and what would take me out of a state of peace? Whatever would remove me from a state of peace, I need to subtract from my life, and I need to do more of what would put me in peace. Vice versa, for the lower vibrational states, I need to do less of what makes me feel guilty. What makes people feel guilty? Short-term gratification. The devil states in Outwitting the Devil that the things it will do to people to keep them trapped in society is put them in states of guilt, doubt, fear, shame, because it is the lowest vibration. It's the lowest frequency. You will never create a great life on a low frequency. You will attract whatever is on your frequency. Okay? So if you do short-term gratification, if you go and eat some rubbish food, if you've got a meal plan and you miss your macros when you had total control and you could have done it, if you missed the gym session, if you said you were going to do an hour of work on your side hustle in the evening and you didn't, if you went and wanked off when you should have been working, or if you went and just ate some chips and watched Netflix, it's putting you into low vibrations. The vibration will then dictate what then happens, okay? Because for every input, there is an output, the law of cause and effect. So these inputs, these daily habits have dictated you your frequency, and the frequency has dictated you where you are now. Okay, so we need to change our habits effectively. And habits can be thoughts, they can be emotions, they can be environment, they can be physical health. Then on the right, we can see the Maslow's hierarchy of human needs. This is also very important to think about. Now, if we want to get on the highest frequency, we need to get to the state of self-transcendence. Okay, now, most people want to be aiming for a state of self-actualization. That is amazing in itself. And very few, and there's nothing wrong with this, will then strive for self-transcendence. Now, everybody really watching this video, I would imagine, will be going and striving for self-transcendence at some point. Okay, now, self-actualization is pursuing potential, pursuing personal potential, becoming the best version of yourself, and doing that physically, mentally, and then you can go into self-transcendence, which is give back. So when you're in a self-actualization phase, you are on an extremely high frequency because fulfillment will lead you to that. You are going through that state of enlightenment. All right? So when you are truly knowing that you are doing whatever it can to grow every day, you are, as guys, you're hitting your macros, you're hitting your meal plan, you're training, you're doing your daily steps, you're working on the high leverage tasks in your career or in your business. You're reading the mindset books. You're investing in yourself. You are pursuing the greatest version of yourself. That is one of the highest frequencies. Well, it is the highest frequency besides self-transcendence. Self is that meaning, it's that purpose, and it's giving back. This is then where people turn into coaches like I did myself, and you are now, like right now in this video, I'm now giving back. I have gone through self-actualization, and have also entered a state of self-transcendence, where now I have become someone that can give back. And there's a quote, guys, a great quote, which says, you can't help somebody to the top of the mountain unless you've climbed it first. And far too many people are staying in a low vibration because they're trying to give back first. They're giving their time away to their partner or to their low vibrational friends, whilst they've still accomplished very little, and they're a very incompetent person compared to their potential. And all that is then doing is giving out a bad version of you, or an unfulfilled version of you, and it's just keeping you there. But then that cycles back round and puts you into a state of guilt and shame because you now know you're not doing the work you need to do, right? So you've got to go all in on you, and then you give back and you help others do the same. Now, in order to achieve this higher frequency and get into that self-actualization state, and then also for some of you guys get into that self-transcendence state, we need to be optimizing with these following things. So the first thing is we got to understand that we have in our mind a conscious mind and a subconscious mind. Okay, it goes in that order. After the subconscious mind, that's then our body. Okay, so we've got conscious mind, subconscious mind, body. The body follows the subconscious, the subconscious follows the conscious. Now, most people's conscious mind isn't even conscious. It's not even self-aware. It's just like a sponge. Now, I've done another video on this. I will put it I will, at the end of this video, actually, I will just put it on the end screen for you guys to go watch. And I think it's titled something around procrastination, but it's all built around how you can change the programming in your conscious and subconscious mind, which will dictate all of your results in the future, because your subconscious mind will control it. So we need to start with consciously controlling our mind with positive thoughts, telling ourselves the good story, like I said at the very start. And when we do that, we start building the positive image, and that positive image starts to program our subconscious mind. So I've put here, use the accept or reject capabilities of the conscious mind. Your conscious mind has the ability to go, that piece of information, nah. That piece of information, yes. Now, most people don't know that. So most people, just anything that comes in their mind, they see something on social media and it's just soaked in. They get in a conversation with a mate who's achieved fuck all, and they hear what they say and it just gets soaked in. Their teachers tell them something at school and it gets soaked in. They see something on the news and it gets soaked in. And now their subconscious mind has been programmed because of this sponge of a conscious mind. And it really, really is detrimental. And now we've got to go to work on reprogramming the subconscious mind by feeding the conscious mind with positive thoughts to bleed into that one. Okay, full video on this at the end of this video, and that's going to explain all of that. Like I said, I don't want this to be a subconscious mind programming video. I want to keep it on the topic of frequency. So we need to raise our frequency, in short, we need to start telling ourselves better stories. We need to be in higher frequency conversation with ourselves and with others. Reading is also a very high frequency state because you're self-actualizing. You are becoming a better version of yourself. And I would be reading mindset, philosophy, self-improvement books. Working with mentors. I can tell you this firsthand. Whenever I get off a call, I've got a call actually tomorrow with one of the most successful entrepreneurs on the planet at the moment. And I had a call with him about a month ago. And I will tell you now, I get off the call and I am like so pumped on such a high frequency. And it's because I've just been soaking in higher frequency from him because it comes from above. And that's something I've done my whole life, investing in coaches, mindset, other guys networking with high net worth and successful individuals in great shape and with great habits and great frequency. And, you know, I put here, guys, higher frequency only comes from above. So that's the only place you should listen. You shouldn't be soaking in information from level with you or below you. You should only seek information and soak into your conscious mind from the frequency of above. Okay, because that's where you're trying to get to. If you just got to the guy who's got the results you want, if you just got in their frequency, you would get the results they have. So that's the only person you should be accepting anything into your conscious mind from. Everything else just needs to be getting bounced, rejected. You know, if there is people around you in your hometown, whatever, and they're trying to tell you what to do, but they're not where you want to be, it's that they're not on the frequency. They're not vibrating correctly. They haven't turned into steam yet. You need to be speaking to the steam like, how the fuck are you shaking so fast? And how have you just turned into steam and boiled out of this fucking kettle? All right? You need to be reading. Why reading? Because reading is effectively a form of mentorship. You are reading from guys who have been on the frequency and they're sharing their mind and wisdom on how they got there. Mentors, you can just go to someone who's on the frequency and start adopting their mindset. If you had my mindset right now, you made decisions how I do, you think how I do, which would then dictate your subconscious mind, which would then dictate the actions you take on your daily habits and what you do and don't do, you would have the exact outcomes I have. So you need to be getting in the rooms with the guys who you want to be more alike. And then on top of that, guys, deliberate affirmation, right? You want to be consciously telling yourself where you want to be in the future as if it's already present. So I recommend everybody write down a list of their affirmations on who they are, what they look like, what their body's like, their body condition, their health, their relationships, their network, their income, their career success, everything which is important. And you should speak that to yourself or even do a voice recording of this and listen to it every single day. Because then you are deliberately putting these positive images in your mind as if you've already achieved it. And if you are on that frequency as if you've already achieved it, you're going to be acting in alignment with it. It changes your thermostat. Right now, you are here and your thermostat is here. You will never, as soon as you go above, you just drop the frequency back in. Drop the frequency back in. You need to be just communicating on this higher frequency, and it's going to be pulling up your temperature. And this is it, guys. Only thoughts that serve you. Any thought or anything or any feeling or emotion, if it doesn't serve you, don't do it. Right? If I was to go, like I had one of my banks hacked, and I had a lot of bills to pay the day after, like a month or so ago. And I could have gone, I'm sad. I'm not, like, that wouldn't serve me, would it? I would just say, it's absolutely fine. Let's get back to work. And we earned that within 24 hours, and we paid the bills, $20K in a day. Okay? Like, it wouldn't have served me to start thinking negative and to being a victim. Too many guys go into victim mindset. Oh, this happened. Oh, the weather. Oh, my job. It doesn't serve you guys. You have to be delusional. You only tell yourself the story that serves you. Right? That's it. And I'm telling you that because I've gone through exactly what you've gone through, and that's what it takes. Right? Another thing, obviously, we all know raises frequency. I'd imagine every single one of you guys trains. Physical activity. You've never come out of the gym, smashed a session, just followed your program, improved on your lifts, progressively overloaded, and come out and gone with the massive pump and gone, I feel low frequency. You feel unbelievable, right? So physical activity, movement, and hard training. Now, if you just feel yourself very, very fast, like now I'm in a low frequency state. Oh my God, I'm in a low frequency. Do you know what I do? I jump to the floor and I start smashing out press-ups or burpees because it's the opposite to instant gratification. Instant gratification is your baseline's here, takes you up, and then you crash down, your baseline vibration drops. If we do hard things now, we feel down and then we come into a higher state. It's how ice baths work with your mindset and stuff like that. No different to just doing a hard workout. Also, every time you hit your meal plan, you hit your macros. You're building wins. Building wins raises your frequency. Momentum. Never underestimate the power of momentum. When you keep breaking momentum and you keep letting the devil side of your mind control vices for you, well, that's taking you out of a state of high frequency. So you need to keep in that. You need to be doing the training every day. You want to be following your program. You want to be hitting your steps. You want to be eating healthy. Whole foods. You want to be obviously having this program built out around, like my program I follow myself and our clients do, is it should be built around the self-image, the man you want to look in the mirror and go, I respect and admire that man. It looks good because when your self-image is better, your thoughts are better. What happens when your thoughts are better? Your frequency's better. You're not going to be on the highest frequency when you look down and go, look, I've got that little pubic hair on my belly button. I've got them little love handles I can grab. That's not high frequency. You're just putting negative images in your mind. They go in your subconscious mind. Your actions will follow. You're on a lower vibration. If you look amazing, do you think you're going to be on a low frequency? No. So it needs to improve your self-image, but also directly can just straight away improve your frequency in terms of if we think more now from like a gut health perspective. Well, now you're putting good foods, unprocessed foods in your body, which is optimized for you. When you put processed foods in your body, or alcohol or drugs, all of these foods are basically drugs these days, right? You are instantly lowering your frequency and you're getting further away. So every time you do that, every time you miss that plan and you eat the bullshit, just remember your frequency's here. You're trying to get here, right? And you've just done, okay, I'm lowering my frequency by feeding my body with food that literally decreases my frequency directly. Plus, then you lose momentum. You lose that stack of wins. You lose trust with yourself. That puts you in what? Guilt and shame. You're now on the lowest frequency. Can you see how all of these, guys, it's like the law of cause and effect. When you do an input, it creates an output. That output also nudges another one. There's a knock-on effect. You've got to keep stacking momentum. You need to lock in now. You want everyone's probably heard of 75 hard. Fuck 75 hard. 365 days. My clients, we lock in. We give them the tailored habits. We've got the wake-up time. We've got reading. We've got books that we assign people on mindset. We've then got the training programs built around their self-image and their aesthetics, their proportions, nutrition, macros, meal plans. You've got your side hustle work you want to be doing, your network who you want to be spending time with, whether it's the group mastermind calls or in your own proximity, and planning tomorrow, today. Clarity, right? It's about process. This is a life process. And you can say, oh, but that's sacrifice. You're sacrificing your entire life by being on a low frequency if you don't do that. Like we've just said, your frequency is what you frequently see. So you need to be only doing whatever drives your frequency up. And I can tell you right now, I guarantee you, some people may say, low frequency people may say, oh, that's a very simple, boring life. And I would say, who's higher frequency, bro? Who's living the life you want to live, bro? Right? That's it. That's it. The guys who are where you want to be may look to normal people, right? Oh, you've got that simple. Yeah, success is fucking easy, guys. Like, success is a lot easier than failing. Why? Because you're fulfilled. You're on a high frequency. You love every minute. I jump out of bed at 3, 4 in the morning, like, let's go. Guarantee you, if you're on a low frequency and you know your reality is not where you want to be, you may say, oh, yeah, it's good for me that I got to go to the pub. I got to eat this. Low frequency, right? You want to get on the high frequency, right? It's like you're on fucking... I'll be transparent with you guys. It's like you're on fucking some crazy drug at some festival when you're an 18-year-old. And that state you feel for like 2 seconds and then you feel a massive crash. It's like you're on that the whole time. That's what it's like. It's literally like you're... Everyone goes, Tom, where the fuck's your energy? Like, you've got so much energy. Do you ever get tired? Like, I've got like some of my business clients who spend time with me and do the one-to-one personal mentorship with me even out here in Dubai. And they're like, you fucking are just like... I'm like, yeah, man, I'm on a high frequency, bro. Right? So that's one thing. Went off on a little scuba dive there. Optimize your physical environment. What you see, right? Clear worktops, nice desk. Have your living space immaculate. Then when you start getting your income up, you start getting to 10K, upgrade your environment. When you start getting to 20K a month, upgrade your environment. Upgrade it. The first thing, until you hit 10K, all you need to be spending money on is literally your nutrition, your training, and your self-improvement, your skills, your knowledge, your coaches, your mentors, your courses, and just anything that can make you better. Because you got to remember, you're this guy like this, and everything else sits on top of you. No one has professional issues. They have personal development issues that show up in everything else. Okay, so like everything needs to go into you, and then you can sit this skyscraper of a life on top of you. Okay, so physical environment, clean up what you see. If it's clutter everywhere, what you're doing, negative images in the mind, low frequency state. Optimize your community environment. Who are you spending time with? Stop spending time with fat fucks. Stop spending time with lazy people who are like, moaning. Get them the fuck out. Doesn't mean you hate them, but get them the fuck out, right? You don't want to see bad habits, right? I am so cutthroat. If I have someone in my circle who starts moaning, they start lolling around, I'm like, sort yourself the fuck out or get out. I am cutthroat because I've got one life, guys. I'm not fucking around. I have one life, just like you guys do. And look, the game of life, we've got to win. We've got to be fulfilled. I optimize for being fulfilled, right? And look, some of you may be in relationships right now, and she might be a nice girl, and you might really like her, but I'm not saying you got to go do this, but like some of you right now may be relating with this and experiencing like, yeah, she's not the one. Well, sometimes you got to sacrifice the queen to win the fucking game, guys. Like, it doesn't matter how close to home a relationship is. If it's pulling you out of your frequency and you're trying to do everything in your power, you've got to make these sacrifices. This is the difference between the high performers and the low performers. They will get rid to optimize their self-frequency, their own life. And when you optimize yourself, then you are someone that can self-transcend and give everything back. You got to do this, guys. Higher frequency only comes from above. We mentioned that. And you got to live by a process, a standard operating procedure, an SOP. Keep everything low frequency out of your life. That's what you got to do. You need to be doing more disciplined things, stacking momentum, cleaning up your environment, and going all in, nailing the daily habits, and never underestimating the power of stacking those small wins and getting rid of everything. Your life just needs to get cleaner, guys. That is it. See you in the next video, guys. I will put in the little top corner a video where we're going to talk about the subconscious mind, and that will help you massively with a little bit more depth on that. Let's go.